Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's my great honor to welcome you to the official opening of XEOS Aircraft Engine Service Center. It is a very special day for us, and I would like to thank all of those who have joined us personally here and also those who are watching us via streaming online. Szanowni Państwo, to niezwykle ważna dla nas uroczystość, niezwykle ważne wydarzenie, uroczyste, oficjalne otwarcie Centrum Serwisowania Silników Lotniczych XEOS. To dzień, w którym chcemy podziękować za Państwa obecność tutaj z nami, ale także podziękować wszystkim tym, którzy oglądają nas w streamingu online. Ladies and gentlemen, almost exactly 2 years ago, in 2017, in September, we witnessed the cornerstone line ceremony, and then it took only 16 months to erect this state-of-the-art facility, to ensure the newest tools and equipment, to build a team of highly trained specialists. All those actions just to welcome here the biggest and most advanced aircraft engines. I think it's quite impressive, so I would like to have a round of applause for all those who work for this very impressive success. Szanowni Państwo, te brawa wybrzmiały dla wszystkich, którzy stoją za sukcesem i stoją za tym miejscem, w którym znajdujemy się dzisiaj. Niemalże dokładnie 2 lata temu, w 2017 roku, we wrześniu, byliśmy świadkami ceremonii wmurowania kamienia węgielnego, a potem tylko 16 miesięcy zabrało stworzenie całego tego centrum, wyposażenie go, zbudowanie teamu wysoko wykwalifikowanych specjalistów, by móc tutaj serwisować największe, najbardziej zaawansowane silniki lotnicze. Ladies and gentlemen, it leaves me with no other action than to officially open the day by welcoming on the stage XEOS Managing Directors Thomas Böttger and Stefan Schmuck.
Szanowni Państwo, welcome to the grand opening of XEOS Engine Service Center Środa-Śląska.
Well, we are honored and delighted that so many important guests have accepted our invitation and have decided to spend this very special day with the XEOS team.
I would like to welcome representatives of Deutsche Lufthansa, the CEO and Chairman of the Executive Board of Deutsche Lufthansa, Mr. Carsten Spohr, and I would like to welcome the CEO of Lufthansa Technik, Dr. Johannes Bussmann.
Of course, we also have here representatives from the second joint venture partner, GE Aviation. It's my great pleasure to welcome Mr. David Joyce, Vice Chair of GE and President and CEO of GE Aviation, and also Mrs. Jean Lime Rogers, who is the CEO and President of GE Aviation Services. Welcome.
It is also an extreme honor to have here with us today Mr. Swisław Sokol from the Chancellery of the President of Poland and Mrs. Małgorzata Jaroszynska-Jelinek, Undersecretary of State in the Ministry of Investment and Development. Welcome, and we would also like to welcome and please also welcome Mr. Wolf Nickel, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Poland, and Mr. Christian Cardano, a consultant from the United States of America General Consulate in Krakow, responsible for economics and politics.
Well, we are also very pleased that we have guests here with us from national, regional, and also local administration. So first of all, let me welcome the Lower Silesia Voivod. This is Mr. Pavel Renyak. Then the Marshal of Lower Silesia, Mr. Cezary Przybylski, the President of Wrocław, Mr. Jacek Sutrik, and last but not least, Środa-Śląska Starost, Mr. Krzysztof Szalankiewicz. Welcome.
We're also happy to have here with us today representatives from business organizations, from media, from business institutions, local neighboring companies, also local communities. And last but not least, we're very happy to have XEOS employees and colleagues today here with us. Thanks for joining and sharing this great moment with us.
Szanowni Państwo, dziękujemy za to powitanie i chcemy podkreślić na początku, jak ważna jest to inwestycja. Inwestycja ważna dla polskiej gospodarki na poziomie krajowym, na poziomie regionalnym i dlatego bardzo się cieszymy, że możemy przywitać przedstawicieli władz na dzisiejszym wydarzeniu. Ważna również dla partnerów, którzy w ramach spółki Joint Venture stworzyli to miejsce Lufthansa Technik i GE Aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very important investment both for the Polish economy on the country and regional level. Therefore, we are very glad to welcome today the authorities. And it is also a very important day for those who've created this place as the joint venture Lufthansa Technik and GE Aviation. And having that in mind, I would like to welcome on the stage some of our very, very honored guests. Szanowni Państwo, chciałbym zaprosić teraz na scenę pana Zdzisława Sokala, doradcę prezydenta Rzeczpospolitej Polskiej. Ladies and gentlemen, Zdzisław Sokal, advisor to the President of the Republic of Poland.
Prezydent Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej Andrzej Duda. Warszawa, 30 września 2019 roku. Uczestnicy i organizatorzy uroczystości otwarcia Centrum Serwisowania i Naprawy Silników Samolotowych XEOS w Środzie Śląskiej. Szanowni Panowie Dyrektorzy, Ekscelencje, Szanowni Państwo, z ogromną satysfakcją i radością przyjąłem wiadomość o dzisiejszym oficjalnym otwarciu Centrum Serwisowania i Naprawy Silników Samolotowych XEOS w Środzie Śląskiej. To bardzo znaczące wydarzenie nie tylko dla Państwa firmy, jej kierownictwa i pracowników, ale również dla przemysłu lotniczego w naszym kraju i całej polskiej gospodarki. Składam serdeczne gratulacje oraz wyrazy uznania wszystkim, którzy uczestniczyli i przyczynili się do sukcesu tej wielkiej, perspektywicznej inwestycji. Cieszę się, że udziałowcy spółki XEOS, Lufthansa Technik, General Electric Aviation zdecydowali, że najlepszym miejscem dla zbudowania jednego z najnowocześniejszych tego typu obiektów na świecie będzie Polska. Centrum powstałe w Środzie Śląskiej to inwestycja, jakich oczekujemy w naszym kraju najbardziej. Stworzona od fundamentów, wykorzystująca najbardziej zaawansowane, innowacyjne technologie, ukierunkowana na osiągnięcie kierowane w dziale badania i rozwoju, zatrudniająca wysokiej klasy polskich specjalistów. Jest to przedsięwzięcie skierowane w przyszłość, opierające się na transferze wiedzy do gospodarki. Dla mnie wielka satysfakcja, że dalekosiężne wizje inwestorów i nasze oczekiwania rozwojowe tak wspaniale tutaj się łączą. Szanowni Państwo, lokalizacja tego nowoczesnego zakładu w Polsce świadczy o uznaniu dla profesjonalnych talentów i umiejętności Polaków. Przemysł lotniczy ma w naszej ojczyźnie długie tradycje. Jesteśmy dumni z dokonań takich wybitnych postaci jak na przykład Stanisław Nowokuński, konstruktor znakomitych silników lotniczych, dzięki którym Polacy zdobywali laury w prestiżowych zawodach międzynarodowych. Czy Tadeusz Tański, pasjonat silników lotniczych i motoryzacji, projektant samochodów pancernych, które odegrały ważną rolę w wojnie z bolszewikami. Polski potencjał przemysłowy i kapitał intelektualny zawsze postrzegaliśmy jako jeden z filarów bezpieczeństwa, siły i rozwoju Rzeczpospolitej. W świecie XXI wieku kompetencje zawodowe polskich specjalistów są rozwinięciem dziedzictwa rodzinnej myśli technicznej i efektem wysokiego poziomu nauczania w polskich uczelniach. Cieszy mnie, że nasz kraj przyciąga inwestorów, zwłaszcza wnoszących innowacyjne technologie i rozwiązania. Według wielu miarodajnych opinii Polska stanowi jedno z najlepszych miejsc do prowadzenia biznesu nie tylko w skali Europy Środkowo-Wschodniej, lecz również globalnej. Otwierana dzisiaj w Środzie Śląskiej inwestycja jest tego dobitnym potwierdzeniem. Raz jeszcze serdecznie gratuluję i życzę powodzenia w Państwa działaniach. Proszę przyjąć serdeczne pozdrowienia. Z wyrazami szacunku prezydent Rzeczypospolitej Andrzej Duda. Szanowni Państwo, Pan Prezydent nie może być dzisiaj z nami. Bardzo chciałbym. Niestety wcześniejsze ustalenia powodują, że gdzie indziej musiał być. Bardzo serdecznie jeszcze raz Państwa wszystkich pozdrawiam. Ja chcę tylko powiedzieć, że bardzo Kancelaria Prezydenta i Pan Prezydent uczestniczył na poszczególnych etapach prac nad tym projektem. W tym miejscu chciałem przypomnieć i bardzo podziękować osobie, której z nami nie ma, Panu Tomasowi Clarkowi, który jest nieobecny, ale bardzo dużo pomagał, zwłaszcza w tym pierwszym etapie, jeśli chodzi o zapoczątkowanie pomysłu i działań inwestycyjnych. Jeszcze raz bardzo dziękuję i bardzo serdecznie pozdrawiam, gratuluję i mamy nadzieję na następne inwestycje w Polsce. Wszystkiego dobrego.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite to the stage Małgorzata Jarosińska-Jedynek, the Undersecretary of State in the Ministry of Investment and Economic Development.
Witam Państwa bardzo serdecznie. Nie jest łatwo dostać się na scenę, tak samo jak i nie było łatwo pewnie wykonać tą wspaniałą inwestycję, ale w tak krótkim czasie udało się tego dokonać. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję za zaproszenie, że możemy tutaj uczestniczyć jako Ministerstwo Inwestycji i Rozwoju. Chciałam też przekazać serdeczne życzenia, ale również i gratulacje od Pana Premiera Mateusza Morawieckiego, który niestety nie mógł dzisiaj uczestniczyć w tym wspaniałym wydarzeniu, ale życzę Państwu dalszych sukcesów i dynamicznego rozwoju, który pozwoli na to, aby przy rozwoju tak wspaniałej inwestycji rozwijała się również i nasza gospodarka. Szanowni Państwo, obiekt, który dzisiaj widzimy, powstał w naprawdę krótkim czasie, ale też ogromna liczba osób, 600 osób, które będzie mogło tutaj pracować, powoduje, że dzięki takim inwestycjom, dzięki takim osobom jak panowie prezesi, którzy podejmują wyzwania, którzy nie boją się inwestować w innowacyjne rozwiązania, będziemy mogli mówić o wzroście gospodarczym. Szanowni Państwo, nie przedłużając, ja również ze swojej strony życzę Państwu wielu sukcesów, kolejnej aplikacji o środki, po to, żeby firma mogła się dalej dynamicznie rozwijać, po to, żeby mogła zatrudniać kolejne osoby z tej okolicy, ale nie tylko, żebyście Państwo mieli ekspansję na całe terytorium. Tak jak wspominaliśmy, lotnictwo jest dla nas bardzo ważną dziedziną i chcielibyśmy, aby w tym zakresie Polska również zdobywała areny międzynarodowe i tego Państwu serdecznie życzę. Jeszcze raz bardzo serdecznie dziękuję za zaproszenie.
Thank you very much for those welcoming words. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite to the stage Germany's ambassador to Poland, Rolf Nickel.
Szanowna Pani Minister, Szanowni Panie Marszałku, Szanowni Panie Wojewodo, Szanowni Panie Prezydencie Miasta, esteemed chairpersons of Lufthansa, GEA Aviation and of XEOS. Ladies and gentlemen, Szanowni Państwo. Thank you very much for inviting me to today's opening ceremony. I came here to congratulate everybody on this important event, a very important event indeed, and an event to be very proud about. Like many of you here, I was present already for the cornerstone laying ceremony practically exactly 2 years ago. And it was very interesting and I'm very happy to see today that it has been possible to create such a successful project only within 2 years. And if some of you remember some of the times we need in Germany to create big infrastructure projects, it's really something to be proud about. And it's really a lighthouse project here in several regards. XEOS, as a joint venture in Poland, brings together two famous companies. One can even say two brands of worldwide renown, Lufthansa and GEA Aviation. Both partners are strong, together they're even stronger. And Schroeder Śląska is a great location for the facility providing state-of-the-art aviation engine servicing to customers. Poland in general and Silesia in particular have a huge potential for the long-term development of industry and services. The investment secures modern, well-paid jobs for highly qualified employees. The investment decision made by Lufthansa and General Electric Aviation is a clear sign of trust in Poland as a profitable investment destination. The numbers are indeed impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, XEOS mother companies come from Poland's most important partners on the international scene, Germany and the US. The project is a shining example of excellent cooperation between Poles, Germans and Americans. When we bring our resources together, positive results for everyone can be expected. XEOS is a brilliant reflection of the win-win principle. As German ambassador to Poland, I am naturally very pleased at the broader implications of the project. It underscores the depth and intensity of Polish-German bilateral trade and investment cooperation. Germany is Poland's main trade partner, accounting for up to 30% of Polish foreign trade. German companies are also each and every year among the biggest foreign investors in this country. 300,000 direct jobs have been created in this country thanks to such investments. And if indirect effects are added, the number may well double or even triple. And most of the jobs are very well paid. The very intensive and successful economic cooperation between Germany and Poland is one of the pillars of our sound relationship. The fundamentals of this relationship are very, very strong. And this will not change, regardless of the outcome of the upcoming parliamentary elections in Poland, just soon. To sum up, today is a good day for Schroeder Śląska, the Silesia region, and Poland and Germany. It's also a good day for two leading companies in Germany and the US. I would like to extend a big thank you to everyone who contributed to the success of today's opening ceremony and the project as a whole. And I wish everybody a lot of success in the further continuation of this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those words. So now I would like to invite to the stage Christian Cardona, the Political and Economic Consul of the U.S. General Consulate in Krakow.
Thank you, Anna, for that kind introduction. Thank you, Mr. Butker, Mr. Schmook, for inviting me here today. And thank you, Minister Jedynak and Ambassador Nikel, for attending the opening of what will be a great partnership for Poland, the United States, and Germany. On behalf of U.S. Ambassador to Poland, Georgette Mosbacher, and our U.S. Consul General in Krakow, Patrick Slavinsky, who unfortunately are unable to attend, I want to join all of you in offering my congratulations to XEOS, GE, and Lufthansa for creating a state-of-the-art facility here in Schroeder-Schwanstein. One of the most important missions we have as diplomats is to foster and encourage strong economic and commercial ties with our allies. It also happens to be one of my favorite parts of the job, because one of America's greatest strengths is the ingenuity and dynamism of its private sector. America's economic ties with Poland are already very deep. We are Poland's 8th largest trading partner and have $43 billion invested in this country, which includes 31% of total investment in Poland's manufacturing sector. From agriculture to energy to jet engines, Polish and American companies are working together to create world-class products and services. The over $250 million that GE Aviation is investing in XEOS will expand this relationship and do so in a crucial way by creating 600 high-skilled, durable, and well-paying jobs that further enhance our shared prosperity. Ensuring that technological progress creates jobs is a singular challenge of the 21st century. As in Poland, the United States and every economy around the world is working to build a highly skilled workforce that can profit from precisely this kind of cutting-edge technology embodied in GE's jet engines. The training center here at XEOS is a vital and forward-thinking investment in Poland's future and will provide a pathway to success for current and future workers. The 40-year projected timeline of the project provides a generational boost to Poland's already growing economy, and I am enormously pleased that our U.S. firms are a partner in this progress. Lastly, I would just note that XEOS project supports the historically close ties between the people of the United States and Poland. Some of the engines you will refurbish, clean, and test here will sit on the wings of Boeing planes that LOT Airlines may use to increase its direct flights to Chicago and New York, and that American Airlines may use when it begins direct flights from Krakow to Chicago in May of next year. These are powerful connections and important steps that the United States and Poland are taking together. And I wish you all the best in this exciting endeavor. U.S. Mission Poland will be watching the progress closely and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your words. It's a tremendous honor to have such a prestigious guest today. Thank you very much for your time and for all the kind words that you just spoken here on this very stage. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite once again to the stage the managing directors of XEOS, Thomas Budger and Stefan Schmuck.
So as you all know, we finished construction of the MRO facility a few months ago, and today we're celebrating the grand opening. Some great technology that you can see today in aviation, but also in other sectors. But let's be honest, we all wouldn't be here today if it wouldn't be an eternal desire of mankind to fly. And eternal because the origins of flying going long, long back into the past, into old Greece, where Daedalus and the Sun Icarus soared into the air by flight operation.
Well, not only European culture has its sky legends. Emperor Shinsun from China was the first one to fly on a winged dragon. Also Hussein, a prince of Persia, used the green carpet. We shouldn't forget about Polish tales. So there were witches from Lizagora who crossed the sky on brooms. And also there's Mr. Twardowski who landed on the moon on a rooster.
But now let's leave the area of myths and legends and come to true facts. So the first documented try in historical documents about mankind trying to fly was in old Rome, and we are aware of similar activities in Constantinople, Andalusia, and in Great Britain. It was actually in Great Britain in the mid of the 1250s where a British philosopher called Roger Bacon wrote a dissertation about the possibilities of humankind to fly. And this is today widely accepted as the first imprint and the first starting point of historical aviation documentation.
300 years later, genius, artist, inventor, and constructor Leonardo da Vinci was the first one in the world to deal with practical aviation issues in a documented way. So it was Leonardo da Vinci himself who developed the theory for a parachute and also explored the possibilities of human flight with movable wings and also a vehicle close to today's helicopter.
The discovery of hydrogen gas and later on in the 18th century triggered the development of hydrogen balloons. And similar to this time frame, the French brothers Montgolfier reinvented the hot air balloon and did initial passenger transport. The area in aviation of balloons was followed on by the area of airships, also called Zeppelins after one of their German inventors, Graf Zeppelin, which triggered initial volumes of air passenger traffic.
Well, this is all true, but the greatest contribution to the development of aviation actually goes to two gentlemen, German Otto Lilienthal and also American Octave Chanute. Both gentlemen, independently from each other, were soaring on gliders of their own design.
In 1900, two new heroes of aviation entered the stage of aviation, the American brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright. So they started initially with gliders and then picked up another technical development at the beginning of the 20th century. So the technical development of fuel-burning engine. They took a 16 horsepower engine, put it onto one of their gliders and called this aircraft Flyer 1. This Flyer 1 took the first engine-powered, man-controlled flight on the 3rd of December 1903 on the nice beaches of Kitty Hawk, and the whole first flight was just 37 meters and 12 seconds.
Well, after the Wright brothers' first flight in May 1927, the American aviator Charles Lindbergh landed his monoplane in Paris, completing the first transatlantic flight. The first solo flight around the world was performed in 1933 by American Wiley Post. And in 1947, Chuck Yeager from the US Air Force was the first human being to fly faster than the speed of sound at 1,236 kilometers an hour. And then last but not least, in 1952, Americans Joseph Fletcher and William Benedict were the first who landed at the North Pole.
So for thousands of years, flying was just a fantasy. And as you can remember, as we just explained, it became just one century from science fiction to reality. And pretty quickly, it was not so much about flying at all. It was very quickly about flying higher, faster, and further. And very in the early stages, it was possible not to have a flying experience for individual people, scientists, or very rich people to make this air transport available to the broader public.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit personally that I really like this movie. It's shown through the history of aviation how the aviation has changed our world, has changed our minds, broadened our horizons and minds, and brought people together, brought countries and cultures together. So now I would like to invite to the stage those who brought us together here today under the sign of aviation. Therefore, the partners of the joint venture. Carsten Spohr, CEO and Chairman of the Executive Board of Deutsche Lufthansa. I would also like to welcome on the stage Dr. Johannes Bussmann, CEO of Lufthansa Technik. I would also like to welcome on the stage David Joyce, Vice Chair of GE and President and CEO of GE Aviation. I would also like to join us on this stage Jean Lydon Rogers, President and CEO of GE Aviation Services. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. I would like to talk with you for a couple of minutes about some very important topics that may have crossed the minds also of our guests who have joined us today. I would like to start with the first question that I would like to ask to Mr. Spohr. We've seen this very interesting movie that is coming and is showing us the piece of the history of aviation that also have been sketched to us by the managing directors of XEOS today. Though this history also led to the foundation of XEOS, and today we are frequently asking the question, what's coming next? We have this big debate, worldwide debate about climate change. We are thinking about the impact of flying on the climate. So after this 100 years of history, there's a time for a question, is the future for the aircraft still in front of us?
Well, I think there can be no doubt that there is a future of aviation, and all of us who bear responsibility in aviation bear a twofold responsibility. On the one hand, to make aviation more sustainable, and at the same time to make it grow and move on, because I think globalization as we all know it, the globalization as we all enjoy it, would be unthinkable without aviation, as the movie showed. Open societies like the one here in Poland, like the one in the US, like the one in Germany, would be unthinkable without aviation, bringing cultures together, people together, allowing trade. And therefore, I think the question is not to slow down aviation, the question is to slow down the ecological imprint. And then it's basically done via technology, which is exactly why we are here today. It's making engines more efficient, which our partners in GE invent and work on every day to make them more efficient. It's making flying more efficient, as we try in our airline with 800 aircraft every day to reduce the impact. And midterm and long term, I think the issue will be to have sustainable fuels, non-CO2 emitting fuels, which will allow us to reduce the imprint dramatically. And I think it's all why this, what we are here doing today, is so future oriented. It's creating the engines of today being more efficient by being maintained well for the future, but also having the propulsion system of the future when maybe synthetic fuels will allow us to reduce the imprint further. So I think all of you can be proud of being a part of today and being a very important part of the future of aviation as well.
Thank you very much. We look into the future, but we also think about the past 100 years of GE Aviation's history that's being celebrated this year. This is 100 years of reimagining the flight, of powering thousands and thousands of both the military and the commercial aircrafts. It's the history of changing the aviation business, in fact. So I would like to ask Mr. Joyce how this heritage is helping you to face the current and also the future challenges of both growing demand and having the challenge of sustainable development within the aviation industry.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having us here today. It's a great honor for GE, for myself, to be here with such a phenomenal partner as Lufthansa in such a wonderful facility. I will tell you, for a 100-year anniversary, we don't feel 100 years old by any means. In fact, I would tell you the purpose of GE Aviation over the last 100 years has been the same, which is to invent the future of flight, to lift people up and to bring them home safely. And that has happened because of the incredible innovation that really is a hallmark of this entire industry. And not only innovation in technology, but also innovation in the collaborative spirit that really represents what GE and what the aviation industry is all about. One of our most important partners is here standing beside us. If it wasn't for Lufthansa back in the 70s choosing the CF6 engine when others didn't believe in us, we wouldn't be here today. So a collaboration that has been part of our entire heritage continues today, and together we innovate to make sure that the future is sustainable. And as Karsten said, aviation does represent an essential industry to create economic growth on a global scale. And to do that together, collaboratively, we need to innovate and create a sustainable industry in the future. For myself and for Karsten and for this facility, the future's bright. You have a tremendous opportunity to participate in the next 100 years of GE by allowing us here to bring the latest innovations in technology with a wonderful partner in Lufthansa forward. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like also to ask how Lufthansa Technik is answering this question of well-being of our planet. So we have to think about the international debate that we've just mentioned on the climate issues. We think about the low cost of the flights and the environmental impact of the aviation industry. So how Lufthansa Technik is approaching those challenges?
Yeah, I think the most important step is to have more economic engines from generation to generation. But we are dealing with what is there, and that what flies the next 20, 30 years. And we spend every year a couple of millions, and in the last years even more, to make these engines that are existing even more efficient. So we have a couple of products that are dealing with this topic, for example, cycling, so it's washing of engines. It's nothing special, but it saves up to 1% of fuel. And we are still developing that further and further with the usage of modern data. We can now predict the point in time when to do it much more precise than we could a couple of years back. And that is one step we will have in November. Something that is also very old. Everybody of you that is in the aviation industry has heard about shark fin skin. And we were so far not able to produce something on an aircraft that is sustainable. And there is another partnership that we are running that we joined with XEOS, because the green building on the other side here is our partner there with BASF, and in November we will have a placement on a Lufthansa aircraft, of course, where we do a bigger test on that one, and we are very optimistic that that will be a breakthrough for that technology, which gives another 1.5%, and that in total on an entire fleet and even on a global scale is a lot of contribution to the environment, also to cost savings. So I think these two things go together quite nicely. And I think there are a lot of more things that I can't talk about now. It's a little bit too early. But when we saw the movie a little bit earlier, that was not the real movie, only the title at the end. So everybody that sees that, I think it's 25, 30 minutes long, you will latest then, you will become member of a family and an aviation enthusiast. And that's why I'm very happy that we have even more people now working here in XEOS that join our family and contribute to making these engines and aviation more environmentally sustainable.
Thank you very much for those voices. I would like also to ask how XEOS is part of the strategy that has been just mentioned, that it's not about flying less, it's about developing the proper technology that will help us to support this aim of lower emissions. So how it comes with projects within XEOS?
Yes, thank you. Well, we certainly know that aviation is critical for the health of the economy, but it is also critically important that we stay aligned with the health of our planet at the same time. And so we couldn't be more proud to be part of this partnership with Lufthansa here at XEOS, to be working on engines such as the GEnx and the GE9X, which through the tremendous ingenuity of our engineering team at GE Aviation have allowed us to have engines that are not just fuel efficient, but also are very environmentally friendly relative to greenhouse gas emissions. So as these emission standards continue to become more stringent, we are continuing to evolve the technology. So today's engines, the GEnx and the GE9X, are compliant with the ICAO standards, and our team of engineers will continue to advance the state-of-the-art of the technology in a way that when these technologies become available, we will be able to incorporate them in as technology upgrades in the overhaul of these engines here at the XEOS facility. Now, not only are we working on the engine technology, but we are also being environmentally conscious just in the facility itself. When we look at this beautiful state-of-the-art facility, we know that it has been constructed using environmentally friendly materials. We're also using advanced systems on energy and waste management here at this facility, and we're using the most advanced technologies and solutions to keep our employees safe here. So it's a matter of continuing to advance the state-of-the-art with our engine technology and doing everything we can with the facility to ensure the health of the planet for many years to come.
Thank you for those reassuring words. Yes?
I need to add one word of thanks to what already was expressed by my friend David. All of you can be incredibly proud to what you put together here in just 2 years. And as a German engineer, as I stand here, on the one hand, I'm very impressed what you put together, and as one of the 2 investors, we're proud to be part of this. But also as a German engineer, I'm very embarrassed that only a few kilometers from here in Berlin, we don't get our act together. So any of the Polish engineers in the room could help us to solve that one. It'd be very appreciated by the ambassador and me. So thank you for the great work done here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those reassuring words, for all those big plans for the future that are really aimed to help those issues that we just tackled. Now I would like to ask the XEOS managing directors to join us all on the stage. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Budger and Stefan Schmuck.
So thank you very much. So we obviously help people to fulfill their dreams of flying, but now briefly coming back to our own dream. So making XEOS Engine Overhaul Services Center a high-quality service center that is supporting top quality to 747 operators in the world, given that quality is still the best business case.
Well, as Albert Einstein once said, strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. We believe in this motto. You can see it in our mission. Merging heritage technology investment in people, we provide customized jet engine services that continuously redefine the cutting edge of our industry, making our customers successful and our employees proud.
Going a little big in history, it was in June 2015, so during the Paris Air Show, where these gentlemen signed an LOI to document their intention to set up this joint venture. And it was in December, the 4th of December 2016, where we announced at a press conference in Warsaw that our future home will be Poland and Środa-Śląska.
Well, the first sod of soil was turned in July 2017. In a record time of only 16 months, our facility emerged from scratch. We moved in December 2018 and started the final straight, a trial operation that eventually enabled us to induct the first engine in our shop.
So we inducted the first engine on the 4th of April this year. So exactly 6 months ago, the first engine was trusted to us by Lufthansa. The serial number was 302, a serial number that I probably will never forget in my life. Since then, we inducted another 13 engines, so we're including the engine from today at 14 engines, and we delivered the first engine successfully back to the Lufthansa operation after a successful test with very good technical KPIs after a test in our friends of GE in Caledonia, Scotland.
Well, success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking forward for it. I believe these words are more true than any others. I would like to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude to the XEOS team. Thank you very much. This is your moment. Celebrate it.
But as you know, the road to success is always under construction. And as you may be recognized even of the strong storm, we just started construction of our test cell 10 yards into this direction 2.5 months ago. So this test cell will be ready for operation in the first quarter of 2021. And we're continuously still growing the company. Our target is in 2023 to have roughly 600 employees and have an annual capacity of 220 shop visits. So the company is today at 300 people, so we're constantly investing and growing and training more people and hiring more people. So our joint shareholders will bring in total 1 billion zloty investment into this place. Great aviation technology. We will hope this will be the nucleus for more business coming in from more university to strengthen the aviation footprint in the Lower Schlesien aviation cluster.
Well, today we celebrate the symbolic beginning of the XEOS future. We want to operate in Środa Śląska for at least 40 years. From now on, this is our home, and we promise to create a solid foundation and bonds with the region and its community to service the two most efficient and popular engines in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for the official opening of the facility. We'll have quite a unique ceremony today. The ribbon cutting will be very exceptional because of the ribbon itself and also because we'll be using the mock-up of the fan blades of the engine that is produced by GE, used in Lufthansa's planes and is being overhauled by XEOS. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can kindly approach our ribbon. Yes, this is the real ribbon that we're cutting here. And on the mark of 3, I will kindly ask you to cut the ribbon. 3, 2, 1, now! Ladies and gentlemen, I brought our prestigious guests together once again to this stage because we want to take a photo that will commemorate this very moment. So if you can kindly approach the front of the stage once again, I will ask our photographer to take the official photo of the opening. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now officially declare XEOS Aircraft Engine Service Center open. Let's have a round of applause for this success. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to continue on celebrating this moment by enjoying a meal and a discussion together in the best company, in your company. Therefore, I would like to invite you back to the catering area and have you as our guest for much longer. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a great day.